Steve Harvey spent decades telling the world that faith, hard work, and loyalty could transform any broken life. To millions of viewers, he became more than a comedian. He was a mentor, a relationship expert, and proof that failure did not have to be permanent. But in August 2023, everything he had built suddenly came under attack. Rumors exploded online claiming that his wife, Marjorie Harvey, had cheated on him with two men from his own inner circle, his personal chef and longtime bodyguard. Social media spread the story at lightning speed, and within hours people treated the accusations like confirmed facts. What made the rumors even more shocking was the identity of the bodyguard, William "Big Boom" Freeman, the same man credited with reconnecting Steve and Marjorie years earlier. Suddenly the internet turned Harvey's own love story into a cruel joke. After years of preaching loyalty, Steve Harvey found himself publicly defending the very foundation of his marriage. The pressure became impossible to avoid when Harvey appeared at InvestFest in Atlanta during the peak of the controversy. Instead of ignoring the rumors, he addressed them directly in front of a packed audience. Calm but visibly frustrated, Harvey insisted that both he and Marjorie were fine and begged people to stop spreading lies online. The crowd laughed when he joked about wanting to curse, but behind the humor was genuine exhaustion. Marjorie later posted a Bible verse on Instagram denying the accusations before disappearing from social media for months. Even after public figures confirmed the story was fake, the rumors continued spreading through podcasts, reaction channels, and comment sections. The scandal revealed something deeper about celebrity culture. Steve Harvey had spent years presenting his marriage as proof that redemption was possible. That made people eager to believe the worst. When someone builds an empire around giving advice. To understand why the scandal hit so hard, you have to look at Steve Harvey's complicated personal history. Before Marjorie entered his life, Harvey had already survived two painful marriages and years of public criticism. His first marriage was to Marcia Harvey in 1981, long before fame arrived. At the time, Steve worked ordinary jobs and struggled financially while chasing comedy dreams at night. They had 3 children together, but as Harvey's career slowly gained momentum, family life began collapsing under the pressure. Endless road trips, unstable income, and long nights performing stand-up created distance inside the marriage. Their divorce became final in 1994, and reports later revealed Harvey had fallen behind on child support payments. Marcia quietly raised their children largely outside the spotlight while Steve focused completely on building a career. Though she rarely spoke publicly, the story of Harvey leaving his first family behind followed him throughout his rise to fame and became part of the criticism surrounding his image for decades afterward. Harvey's second marriage proved even more explosive. In 1996 he married Mary Lee Shackelford after several years together, and they welcomed a son named Winton Harvey. Steve later admitted he entered the marriage for the wrong reasons because he hated being alone. What followed was years of tension that eventually turned into one of the messiest celebrity divorces in entertainment history. After their split in 2005, Mary publicly accused Harvey of infidelity, emotional abuse, and manipulating the court system against her. She uploaded emotional YouTube videos claiming she had discovered love letters between Steve and Marjorie during their marriage. Harvey's legal team denied the accusations and pointed to the financial settlement Mary received, including millions in support and property. The situation became even uglier when Mary violated court orders and served jail time for contempt. Long before she became Mrs. Harvey, Marjorie Bridges had already lived through her own complicated past. Her first husband, Jim Townsend, was sentenced to life in prison on drug-related charges, though Marjorie herself was never charged with any crime. Steve Harvey first met her during the late 1980s at a comedy club in Memphis. According to both of them, Steve stopped his performance when she walked into the room and boldly announced he was going to marry her someday. At the time, Harvey was broke and struggling to survive, so the relationship eventually faded away. Both moved on and married other people before fate unexpectedly reunited them years later. Ironically, it was Steve's bodyguard Big Boom who encouraged him to reconnect with Marjorie in 2005, reminding him that she was the only woman he had ever seemed truly happy with. They married in 2007, and Harvey later described Marjorie as the woman who saved his life, his career, and his emotional stability. While Harvey's personal life remained complicated, his career reached incredible heights. By the early 2000s he had transformed himself from a struggling stand-up comedian into one of the biggest names in television. But on December 20, 2015, everything nearly collapsed during one unforgettable moment at the Miss Universe pageant in Las Vegas. Harvey confidently announced Miss Columbia as the winner before realizing he had read the card incorrectly. In front of millions watching worldwide, he returned to the stage and revealed that Miss Philippines was actually the real winner. The crown had to be physically removed and transferred live on television while cameras captured every humiliating second. The mistake instantly became one of the most viral moments in entertainment history. Harvey later explained that the scorecard layout confused him because the actual winner's name appeared in an unusual position. Despite endless jokes and criticism, behind the scenes, another controversy quietly followed Harvey for years: accusations that he stole jokes and television concepts from other comedians. These allegations exploded publicly again in 2024 after comedian Cat Williams accused Harvey of building portions of his career using material created by others. Comedian Mark Curry had already spent years claiming Harvey copied ideas from his sitcom and stand-up routines. Fans pointed to similarities between Curry's comedy specials and segments later used on Harvey's television shows. Actress Angela Means also claimed publicly that Harvey had a reputation for borrowing jokes from fellow performers. Another painful accusation involved legendary comedian Bernie Mac. According to several people close to Mac, Harvey allegedly attempted to replace him in the film Ocean's 11 by offering to accept a lower salary for the role. Harvey denied all accusations strongly and insisted he never stole material in his career. Yet the footage comparisons and public criticism continued, fueling debates about whether some parts of Harvey's success came at the expense of fellow comedians. What made Steve Harvey's rise so fascinating was the incredible distance between his early struggles and his eventual empire. Before television fame arrived, Harvey spent years homeless, sleeping inside a 1976 Ford Tempo while chasing stand-up opportunities across America. He survived on bologna sandwiches stored inside a cooler and showered at gas stations whenever possible. Some weeks he earned only $50 performing comedy while still trying to support his children financially. Harvey later admitted those years terrified him so deeply that fear of poverty never truly disappeared. That fear became the driving force behind his work ethic. Over time he transformed himself into one of entertainment's most successful personalities. Family Feud became a massive rating success under his leadership. Despite all his wealth and success, Harvey remained deeply shaped by the painful experiences of his childhood. Born in West Virginia in 1957 before moving to Cleveland, Ohio, Steve struggled with a severe stutter as a child. Classmates mocked him constantly, giving him cruel nicknames because he could barely complete sentences without stumbling over words. Everything changed during 6th grade when his teacher asked students to write down their dreams for the future. Young Steve wrote that he wanted to be on television someday. Instead of encouraging him, the teacher publicly humiliated him in front of the class and called his dream unrealistic. That night Steve's father told him to keep the paper safely in a drawer and read it every morning and every night until it became reality. Harvey never forgot that advice. Years later, after becoming famous, he reportedly sent that teacher a brand new television every Christmas as a reminder that the dream she mocked had actually come true exactly as he promised it would. Steve Harvey's legacy remains deeply complicated because every success in his life seems connected to an equally painful controversy. He became a motivational figure for millions while carrying the baggage of failed marriages, bitter lawsuits, and accusations of betrayal. He turned public humiliation into career opportunities and transformed poverty into unimaginable wealth. At the same time, critics continue questioning his role in broken relationships, joke theft controversies, and public scandals. Yet what makes Harvey fascinating is not perfection but persistence. He repeatedly survived situations that could have destroyed other celebrities entirely. Whether facing homelessness, divorce battles, internet rumors, or global embarrassment, Harvey always found a way to keep moving forward. Even his famous motivational speeches reflect this mindset.